Welcome back to Allison Customs Project Car TV. I'm back working in the shop. SEMA's over, and I've got to catch up on some projects because I just burned through weeks of time trying to get the Chevelle ready for SEMA.
Welcome back to Allison Customs Project Car TV. I'm Jeff Allison, and thank you for watching.
Back on the Chevelle here in another few weeks, possibly a little over a month. I've got a couple of projects that I've been promising people I'd finish up, and then one of the projects is my own car, which I usually park for the winter anyway, but it's been having some electrical problems, so I'm gonna work on it today, try and get it cleared up so I can get it out of here, get it on a battery charger under the carport, and then it can sit for the winter. What I have actually for today's video is a new tool I ordered months ago. It's been sitting in the box waiting for me to do something with it, which I actually bought so I could work on this car and because of some features it has. So let me get a knife, let's get this opened up.
So what we got?
Alright guys, so this is not this is something I bought for me based on some recommendations I saw on another channel, Stephen Cox, I believe it is. Found him through Chucky 2009. If you guys need to watch his stuff, I like a lot of his welding stuff. Even I like some of the farming stuff, the hay farming stuff he does. But he's got a buddy, Stephen Cox, who I believe has his own channel. And he was showing, he actually got one of these from the manufacturer to test. I bought mine because I wanted some of the features that this thing has, and this is by launch. And what it is a tablet that is a OBD2 reader and can do some writing. It's not just, hey, let me read the codes. This will let you go through and test systems, which it's a Chrysler Crossfire, which is really just a Mercedes with a different body on it. And there are a lot of codes that this thing will kick out, dash lights and stuff, that a regular OBD2 reader can't even tell you that are on. So my hope is, based on what I learned on the other channel and then reading about it myself before ordering, is that this will work not only with this car but a lot of other. It's got Honda and Toyota, Chrysler, GM, the OBD1 stuff. So what I'm hoping is I can maybe even replace my old Snap-on brick reader, which is a huge piece of equipment. You guys, so what I've got here for you is this launch X-431Pros Mini, which is as they describe it, an auto smart diagnostic tool. So it'll work with OBD2, OBD1, all the older individual different brands of components or ECM readers, and today's just going to be kind of a quick overview. I'm not trying to find all of the features today. We're going to be using this more and more coming up, and I just thought I would kind of give you a quick overview of what tool I've recently purchased. As you see it come out more and more, we'll all have an idea of what we're doing or what we're using. Go through on the Chrysler Crossfire here, and we're going to do a little bit of work and see what we can learn from it. So today what we're going to do is get this thing turned on, learn to use it a little bit, and see if we can't figure out why I'm getting some of the dash lights that I'm getting. And I'll throw up, I think I have some pictures of those, so I'll try and throw those up so we're all on the same page. So anyway, let's get this out, read some instructions. I think it probably has to be charged and we'll get this thing up and running. It says it's Android based, but it's actually an Android tablet, it looks like. Uses mini USB for the charging system. It looks like it's got a headphone jack, it's got a camera port over here, and then this little holster holds what I'm going to guess is a OBD2 Bluetooth type connection. It is Wi-Fi enabled, so we're going to go ahead and get this powered on, get it registered. So as you can see, it's booting up right now. Try and get you a little closer. There we go. Try and keep you with me on the whole thing here. It's booting up right now. We'll get the Wi-Fi setups done, and then we'll get it registered and any updates, and then we'll start going over connection series and everything else. But you can see it's just an Android tablet, and then there's software apparently in it. Okay, so we got connected to the internet. Now to register and update this system, we've got to go back, and I have no experience with an Android tablet, so we're going to just kind of have to go through here, basically learning this together. I'm reading off of their 2 pages of instructions, one 8.5 by 11 folded in half, which is fine. I mean, probably most of the instructions are included in the system here. So it tells us to launch the app, and then we need to log in, which is in the upper right hand corner. Okay, so I went through the registration process, which was to enter a serial number and some other, and an activation number, and then it asks if you want to download and update the software. So this one has quite a few updates, so we're going to go ahead and let it update on everything. And like I said, this has been, I bought this, probably mid to late summer, and then here we are mid-November. It's just now opening it, so something I've wanted for a long time, as far as the fact that you can get in there, read some codes, have it do some of the testing features. You know, basically you can tell the ECM on some vehicles, it has different things. You can tell it, hey, fire an injector, or some of the later model cars where even more of the kits are tied into the ECM and BCM. You can test window motors and all kinds of things, as I understand it. Like I said, I'm just playing with this today, so I don't know all of the features. I don't know how much of it can do, but as you can see through here, it has not just GM and Ford and Chrysler. This has just about every kind of vehicle out here. I mean, Australian Ford, Australian Holdens, Austin Martins. If we scroll down, we got Hyundai, Honda, Isuzu, Land Rover, Jaguar, Renault. There's some, let's see, Saab, Skoda, Sprinter. So all of the different vehicles out there. So we'll get all these downloaded, and then we'll start playing with it on this Chrysler / Mercedes. We are fully charged, everything's installed. I've been doing some other work on this car, so it's had a few issues that I just needed to catch up with, and one of them was the brake light switch, pedal switch, kept acting up. So I've got most of the cover under here out. Let's see, there may be another update. 3 updates. So we're going to go ahead and run those 3 updates as well. Start everything as fresh as we can. Looks like everything is up to date. So we're going to go ahead and start a session. So it says, as a new time user, we're supposed to start with traditional diagnosis. Take out the Bluetooth receiver on the back. Like I said, I've got stuff unplugged in here, and I don't want to put everything back until I've gone through these other tests, in case I have any other parts I'm going to need to replace or whatever. So we're going to plug that in to the traditional diagnostics, and Maybe we'll start by calling this a Chrysler Crossfire and see if it shows up in that system. Okay, so our vehicle wasn't listed, so we got to go back to manual. Manual select Chrysler. We're going to start with an 04 Crossfire. So it's telling us to please use our Mercedes-Benz software to diagnose Chrysler Crossfire 0406. So we'll go back and do that. After I got everything updated, after everything else, went in, found the Mercedes-Benz system, and under Chrysler it told me which model to pick. So we got there and I ran the system. It took about 3 or 4 minutes to run through all of the systems, and it found that there was quite a few faults here. Now, what it looks like is I can go in and I can say, hey, fault number 1, electronic sensor module. We can go in and select that. It tells you to turn the ignition switch on. Once you get that complete, hit OK. It's going to scan it. You can ask for module information. It'll tell you, hey, write this down or print this page. It tells you, hey, this is the information in case you need to go find it. It'll tell you to read the fault code. It says backlight voltage supply error. So this is where I was pretty sure my brake pedal switch had been faulting again. So I've already pulled that out, cleaned it, and tested it, and I now have brake lights, whereas I did not before. So I'm pretty sure that's been looked at already. So because I've already repaired the brake switch, we're going to go in and we're going to actually tell this to go ahead and clear that fault, that particular fault code. Are you sure you want to clear it? Yes. So it tells me to turn the ignition switch off, which I'll go do. So with the ignition switch off, I can hit OK. It says this is going to take 10 seconds. Now it wants me to turn the ignition switch back on. So with the switch back on, we'll hit OK. Fault has been cleared. And we can go back. We still have 3 faults in here. We're just going to go through them one by one. Chances are these faults are all tied to that same brake switch. Let's just start with, let's go fault number 2 here. ECM engine control, switches on. It says it's scanning non-CAN systems. Let's read the fault code. It's given us 2 of them, oil pressure sensor, or oil temperature sensor, correction. Okay, so this is actually a known one to me. It's been on for a long time. There is, and it's actually, it says it's a temperature pressure sensor, and then if you read down further, there's an oil level slash temperature, and mine does have a oil level switch, oil level or oil quantity switch, but it's inside the oil pan, and it quit working maybe 2 years ago. So I've never done anything about it, because to get to it, you actually have to drop the oil pan from everything I've read. So I'm not worried about this one. So we're gonna back out of here on this one. We can see if there's any kind of test. Maybe you could test it and see if it's actually failed. We can fire purge valves and throttle actuator and injectors, but nothing else that would help us on this one. Just for giggles, I'm going to try clearing this one. Like I said, it's been in there a long time, but it has not. When I first got the car, everything worked correctly. So ignition switch off. 10-second wait. Okay, so it's cleared. So we can go back again. Electronic stability program This one is typically tied to that brake switch, or there's also a inertial switch or something in the back that tells you if you're slipping. So sometimes that one can actually be tied to a different problem. This module version is unknown. That is why only a limited diagnostic range is available. Okay, yes. So let's read the fault code. And it can't. We're going to try clearing that fault code because, again, I've already worked on that. Okay, it says it cleared that one. So again, we'll go back to our main list. And I'm going to go through each one of these. There's 2 transmission faults here. One with automatic temperature control, automatic air conditioning. Oh, sorry. One transmission, one for that. Again, the transmission is almost certainly tied to the brake switch because it was it appeared to be dirty. Anyway, so we're basically end up clearing everything that was in here. The thing is, we're checking them one at a time. Once we get them all cleared, we can check and see if everything works. The other thing about this Chrysler, this / Mercedes, is that it is very, very battery voltage sensitive. It's not, so once again, it's got a bunch of codes here tied to it. The stop lamp switch, signals sent from the traction. So almost all of these are once again tied to that brake switch. So we'll clear these out. See if this doesn't fix most of the problems, at least for now. All I've done on that brake switch is actually just cleaned the contacts, took a little points file and cleaned them up. So this is the second time I've done that since I've owned the car. Probably need to buy a new switch, but you know, as long as I can fix it for 20-30 minutes of my time, it's been worth it to mess with. Now that the running, all the lights are out, indicating errors. So now what I'm going to do is put this dash portion back together. It's about out of fuel. I'm going to run it into town. That's about 7 or 8 miles, and fill it up with gas. Hopefully by the time I've driven it there and back, any faults that we're going to return, so we could actually track them down, we'll find those, and then move on to putting this car out into the carport and getting it plugged in and stored for the winter.
Thanks for watching Allison Customs Project Car TV. Like us on Facebook and check us out at AllisonCustomsOnline.com.